All right. I think we're good now.
Are we live? Can everybody hear us? Maybe I should not tell everybody to put a pizza emoji in the chat. If anybody remembers ng-conf from a few years ago. But welcome.
Let's see. Looks like we have about 17 people on already. So, yeah, welcome everybody. Angular 20 is finally here. Oh, Brooke, I think I've lost my audio.
I think I hear you, Chris, but I don't hear Brooke right now.
Nope, still no.
How about now?
There you are. Yep.
Okay. Get through the glitches, everybody. But hey, all right. Super excited. We are finally here. This is the release of Angular version 20. Super excited to have everybody here with us. How are you guys, though?
Doing great. Very excited. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, everybody, just really quick, just wanted to make sure everybody kind of understands how this is going to go. We'll be switching over to the Angular team's official release party here at about 10 o'clock mountain time. So we're just going to do a little preview here, kind of chat a little bit. I had the really exciting privilege of going to Google I/O last week and was able to meet with a lot of the other GDEs and see some of the Angular team. Really exciting stuff going on there, and just could not be more excited for what we're about to preview and what's coming up here with Angular 20. But before we really dig into this, I just want to remind everybody, as we're in the chat, definitely go ahead and chat. We're excited to hear your thoughts and what you're eager to see with Angular 20 as well. But please just keep the comments and everything appropriate, and let's just have a great time. And that's what we're here for, is just to celebrate Angular and everything that's coming out. So just that little note. But then also I want to always thank the Angular community meetup team, Chris, Matt, Marcus, and Giovanni. We do have the Spanish event also going on. So if anybody's interested in that, you can go join the Spanish if that's a little bit better for you. But yeah, just, thanks to everybody here on the team. And I do also want to introduce, we have a new team member, everybody. We have expanded the ACM group. We brought on a coworker of mine, very good friend. His name is Matthew Christensen. So Matt, welcome to the team.
Hey, yeah, thank you. And hey, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. As someone who did not love the old days of ng-if and pre-signals, it's super exciting seeing the way Angular's come, and I've really fallen in love with it the previous couple versions. So yeah, really excited to be here and to see Angular 20 come out, and I feel like we're going to step into an even fresher bit of air here with these next things coming out.
It's been really cool, ever since we did the Angular Renaissance, and I just feel like everything that the Angular team is doing, all of these releases that they're putting out, they're really listening to the community, and I really appreciate that about Angular, that they're not just kind of doing their own thing. They actually are taking feedback. They're really listening to what the developers are asking for, and that was one thing I really got there at Google I/O, was just how much they are really trying to improve the developer experience. It was actually an observation I had, though, was like, as they were presenting all these features that are coming out with Angular 20, I felt like there were two kind of main areas where they were focusing, and it was productivity and then developer experience. So I shared the replay. And by the way, anybody, if you want to go back and watch any of the presentations from Google I/O, it's all on, just type in Google I/O. They have all of the presentations there. You can go back and watch them. There's some really exciting stuff coming, even just with, web and Chrome in general. So lots of things going on, not just with Angular, but all sorts of Google products. But yeah, I don't know. I know you guys watched the replay. So what are some things that really stood out to you, and maybe that you're most looking forward to with this release?
Yeah, I mean, for me, signal forms, I'm really excited to see what that looks like. I was talking with Chris earlier. It sounds like you had similar sentiments, Chris, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been kind of working on a side project with signals everywhere, and going back and using reactive forms. I'm like, oh, I just need that one piece to kind of like pull it all together. So I'm very excited to start playing with that, and I know it's gonna be like in a experimental or developer preview, but just to get in there and start playing with it and give the Angular team feedback on it, I'm just so excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, another interesting thing is the testing changes. I know for a while we've all been thinking, let's start using Jest more, but it sounds like there's going to be test, and yeah, that will be cool.
Definitely, yeah, that was another one that stood out to me. And another one too was the Chrome Dev Tools having the Angular track just built right in there. I thought that was pretty exciting. So I mean, definitely it'll be a lot easier for us to spot those issues, get them fixed. You're going to have less time spent debugging. It's like really customized to Angular developers. So I think that's a really awesome improvement there as well. And then they also mentioned zoneless. So what were your thoughts with that one?
For me, no more Zone.js. This could mean actual performance boost.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I've been playing with Zoneless in just like experimental, and haven't had an issue. And I upgraded to like one of the release candidates, and it was like throwing an error, and I was like, oh, instead of provide experimental zoneless, it's just provide zoneless. I'm like, oh, that sounds so much better to know that it's like that much closer.
Yeah. The one that I felt like they kind of teased, they didn't go into too many details, but it was the AI assisted dev tools. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Oh, I'm excited to play with that. I need to dig into that one more.
Right? Yeah. I know, like some of the things I know they mentioned were like we're gonna have smarter linting, and then CLI recommendations. There's a couple with that, but I mean overall it's just improving code quality. I think with this too, like think about time saved on PRs, right? Like if we're submitting our PRs and it's already kind of, a lot of that's done for us already. If AI is assisting with that, I think that'll really, and it's those little things. Again, it goes into developer experience. It's those little improvements that save time here and here and here and here and here, but it all adds up. And so you're able to spend more time actually coding than doing these other things that take a lot of your time. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say I've been dabbing and like playing around a little with like generative AI tools, and given that they have released so many new features recently, it will be nice to have that additional support where they make it easy to essentially generate these great new solutions to tackle different problems. Because like I said, sometimes you use these tools and you get all those ng-ifs and all the old school directives and things all over your app, and it's nice to kind of see that they are investing a little bit in the Gen AI story, as we have seen that it helps developers just doing a lot of more output, right? So been great to see that these last weeks. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So much. I was just gonna say, along with what you were saying earlier, Brooke, another quality of life thing for some people is that they're talking about better Firebase support.
Yes.
I know I used that a few weeks back on a side project I was doing, and it makes it so easy to get your code, live and viewable. And so the fact that they're going to make that even easier, for us, that sounds pretty great.
Basically just one click, right? Like it's just you click one thing and all of a sudden it's live. So I don't know. We actually use that with our ACM, our Meetup website. I've loved it. It's so smooth. But
yeah, the Firebase CLI is quite incredible when you create a new project. It just tells you right there, like, oh, what do you want to use? And it just sets it up for you. I was recently switched from, I was trying to do something with AWS. I hadn't done AWS in a while, and it was so painful. And I was like, well, let me try Firebase. And it was like, in 30 seconds, it was done.
Yeah, I think
So
that
nice.
really Angular has that benefit that they can really tap into their existing ecosystem and just leverage all of that benefits that they can take advantage of. So that I think that's really nice, and again, just helps you to get out some great apps really.
Mm-hmm.
is there anything with Angular that you still wish maybe they would focus on? Something that is consistently a bit of a pain point that you might want to see even down the road?
I'm curious to see what they're going to come up with to get rid of the double imports. That's something that's annoyed me for a while. It's like I have to import this package, then I have to put it in the imports array. So kind of see how they manage that. I know there's been a few ideas kind of thrown around on the internet, and just kind of curious what the team will come up with.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think it's nice now because they introduced the signals for some versions ago, and now finally we are soon gonna be able to kind of reap the benefits of it, right? Like it's been a long journey. There's been lots of different great stuff that has been getting out, but as we now have been using that for some time, we have been able to kind of develop best practices. The APIs have become more mature and stabilized. So I think that it's now when we will really get the benefits of it. So in a way, it will be really nice to see. So yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And they're actually that's another thing they talked about in the conference is that they're just officially marking so many things stable in this version too. So if anyone here is like, oh, I'm still not certain about signals effects, link signals, like they're officially calling it all stable, and it's time to move up.
Yeah. And they're still talking about the standalone components as well. I mean, that's still something they're really trying to emphasize, and just how much easier it really makes. I think especially for beginners, for learners, Angular is kind of notorious for being the hardest framework to learn. But I think that, again, it just goes back to how they're really listening to the community, and they're trying to really improve that dev experience. Well, we're about 1 minute out. So Chris, should we switch over and see if we can join the Angular team's official live stream here?
Yep. As soon as it goes live here, I can full screen it and swap OBS over to it.
Okay.
So if you're watching on our watch party, it'll be probably between 5 and 10 seconds behind what is actually on YouTube, just from streaming. Hopefully the here we go.
Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team, and welcome to the Angular V20 show. And listen, we're gonna get started in just a moment with the latest news from the Angular team, including updates to developer experience, performance, tooling, and so much more. But before we get started, I have a few things that I'd like to say. First and foremost, thank you. The Angular community is absolutely incredible. You continue to give us meaningful feedback to help us shape the future of the framework. You submit PRs, you respond to comments, and what's really important is that you continue to use the framework to build world-class applications. The Angular team is committed to giving you the tools to create something great, something special, a framework so that you can create the applications your users will love. All right, that's enough from me for now, but let's hear from our product lead, the one and only Minko Getchev.
Hey everyone, I'm Minko Getchev, product lead for Angular at Google, and I'm absolutely thrilled to announce the arrival of Angular version 20. The past couple of years have been transformative for Angular, as we've unleashed groundbreaking advancements like reactivity with signals and the power of zoneless applications. We bring these foundational changes to life through a dedicated three-phase process. First, we pioneer an early version, then we deep dive, gathering invaluable feedback directly from you, our amazing developers. Finally, armed with insights, we refine these features for maximum impact and stability. Angular V20 is where that dedication truly shines. This release represents countless of hours spent in that crucial third phase, polishing our powerful in-progress features to forge the exceptional, rock-solid developer experience we deserve. We proudly graduate APIs like Effect, Linked Signal, and route-level render modes to stable. Zoneless is moving to developer preview. Know that this is just the beginning. We're already charting the course for the next wave of innovation, laser focused on enabling you to build web apps with an absolute delight. Angular has always been a powerhouse, embedding best practices from day one, a trait essential for apps at scale. We recognize, however, that this power can sometimes feel imposing to newcomers embarking on their first project. That's why our upcoming releases will champion the gradual adoption of these best practices, making Angular's strength more accessible while simultaneously enhancing them for applications of any size. Later this year, prepare for streamlined, selectorless components, bootstrapping developer experience, accelerating build times, and elevating performance. Expressive and robust signal forms, a modern, scalable, and consistent way to handle user input. AI enhancement of your developer experience and more approachable documentation, and so much more. But let's pause and celebrate this milestone, the landmark version 20. For years, I've personally wished for a fun symbol for Angular that I can use maybe as a plushie or a keychain. Our iconic shield is powerful, but perhaps a touch too shielded. So over the past few months, we teamed up with the creative minds behind Dart, Flutter, and Firebase's mascots to spark some amazing concepts for an official Angular mascot. And now the most exciting part. We want you, the incredible Angular community, to co-create our final mascot with us. Head over to goo.gle/angular-mascot-rfc, cast your vote for the concept you love the most, and share your brilliant ideas on how we can make it perfectly capture Angular's unique identity and vibrant culture. Let's build it together.
All right, thanks, Minko. It is inspiring to be surrounded by so many people who are dedicated to serving the Angular community by working to ensure that we put great features into the framework. Also, how exciting is that mascot news? We can't wait to hear your thoughts and amazing ideas. All right, let's keep this party going and check in with the fantastic Alex Rickabaugh as he shares how we're improving the Angular developer experience to help you create apps that your users will love. Alex, over to you.
Hey there, I'm Alex from the Angular team, and what a great time to be a part of the Angular developer community. In order for you to create apps that your users will love, you have to have a developer experience that you love. To ensure that happens, we have some great new features in Angular version 20 that we hope will empower you to create wonderful applications for your users. Let's jump in. It's amazing to think that we introduced signals back in Angular 16. And since then, we've been pushing the boundaries of what's possible with signals in Angular. Signals are changing the way developers manage state in their components. But we're finding that there are still more frontiers to explore with signals. Signals are reactive and can be used for synchronous tasks, but what about asynchronous tasks? You know, tasks where the completion time is unpredictable. That led us to the new resource API, a new primitive for declaring asynchronous dependencies as a part of the signal graph. Using resource, you can access the status, values, and other properties as signals, seamlessly integrating them into your other signal-based logic and templating. But you know us, we knew we could go further, so we also built the new experimental HTTP resource that enables you to reactively make HTTP requests for fetching data. It's built on top of HTTP client, so it supports all of the features you know and love, like interceptors or mocking and tests, plus it has the power of signal reactivity. Angular developers everywhere tell us how much they love the new resource primitive. We thought it would be great to make it even better. Now you can stream values from a resource, which is useful when you must stream a response back to the client. As for the rest of the Signal API family, we're happy to announce that link signal, effect, after next render, after render effect, and more have been promoted to stable and are ready to be used in production. With these new APIs and stabilizations in version 20, you might ask us, what's coming next? We're continuing to expand support for signals inside of Angular, and I'm happy to share that we're working on a new signal-based evolution of our form system. We're leveraging signal-based reactivity and other modern Angular features to make building forms easier than ever before. Our goal is to combine the best parts of our venerable template and reactive form styles into one unified form system that scales with an excellent developer experience from the simplest login page to the most complex data tables. And as always, backwards compatibility and interoperability are front and center. We're still working on this project, so be sure to stay connected with us online at angular.dev and on the Angular YouTube channel to get the latest information when updates are available. And we're looking forward to hearing your feedback in an RFC later this year. We have some more quality of life features that we're sure you'll enjoy. Host bindings allow you to bind dynamic values to your host element in components and directives. And we know that Angular developers not only love this feature, but do things like create dynamic expressions for the properties they bind to. There's just one problem though, those expressions aren't type checked, and that can lead to runtime errors. That is, until now. In Angular version 20, we're adding type checking support for both the host property and for the host binding and host listener decorators. Now you can find out if your expressions contain errors during development. But that's not all. We're also updating the Angular language service to support features like syntax highlighting, go-to-definition, and automated renaming inside of host bindings. If you want to try out this great new feature, enable type check host bindings in your project settings to get started. The dynamic component creation APIs provide a powerful way to programmatically create components in Angular applications. While it has been possible to do things like bind values to inputs, there were still opportunities to improve the developer experience with these APIs. So we did. We've expanded Angular's dynamic component creation in a few meaningful ways. First, binding values to inputs is much simpler. Before this update, you'd have to imperatively apply input changes manually, which has been less than ideal. Now, with the latest version of Angular, you can use our new well-defined API to declare input and output bindings at creation, and let the framework handle the rest. The new APIs put inputs and outputs through the same mechanism we use when you bind them in templates. Even better, the new API allows directives to be applied to a dynamically created component. For example, here we're able to apply the active user directive to the user info component. And if you need to bind to the directive's inputs and outputs, that's no problem. You can add bindings when you apply the directive using the same declarative API as with components. In the updated code, we can add the hasColor directive with an input binding. An additional benefit of these APIs is that they're tree shakeable. If you don't use this functionality, it doesn't take up any space in your bundle. These new APIs provide us with a unified way of defining bindings in TypeScript. And we think we can leverage the same approach in the future for other APIs like testbed and host directives. You know, you Angular developers are pretty cool. Maybe we can throw in a few more features for you to check out. In this release, we've also added support for TypeScript 5.8, support for untagged template literal expressions and templates. Template HMR is enabled by default, and there's a new schematic to clean up unused imports in your apps. Even with everything I just shared, there's even more available in Angular v20, empowering you to create apps your users will really love. We can't wait to see what you'll build next.
Don't you just love it when someone brings so much good news like Alex just did? I know I do. I also know that many of you were really excited to learn that we're actively building our new signal-based form system. We're definitely looking forward to sharing more updates as we make progress. Developers care about application performance, and so do we. That's why we've been improving Angular in the following way, actually. We have someone standing by ready to give you the details. So, hey Devin, why don't you tell the people more about how they can build faster app experiences that their users will love?
Hey there, I'm Devin from the Angular team. With each of our previous releases, we've made tremendous developer experience and performance improvements. Perhaps you've noticed this yourself with the introduction of features like our new signal-based reactivity model and server-side rendering support. Now, with the features we're releasing in this version, Angular is bringing performance to developers as a default. Through a culmination of several different efforts, Angular v20 will make shipping highly performant web apps easier than ever. But what does that all mean? Stick around and find out. Server-side rendering helps Angular developers deliver highly performant apps. SSR allows you to render pages containing initial page state on the server and ship them to the browser for a faster initial load and better SEO. In v16, we added full application hydration, which reuses server-rendered DOM structures and persists the application state and transfers application data retrieved already by the server. Without hydration enabled, SSR applications would need to destroy and re-render the application's entire DOM. But we didn't stop there. Incremental hydration hit the scene in Angular v19 in developer preview with a clear goal of helping developers ship fast-loading apps because we know how important initial load is in creating an incredible end-user experience. With the power of incremental hydration, developers can choose which parts of a template to delay loading and hydrating until later, reducing bundle sizes and the time to interaction while providing an end-user experience comparable to full application hydration. We are thrilled to announce that incremental hydration is stable as of v20, which means you can confidently reap the benefits of this powerful new feature. To get started, add Provide Client Hydration with incremental hydration to your project's application config. Then, you can use defer blocks with hydrate triggers such as hydrate on, hydrate when, or hydrate never to specify exactly what user events should trigger Angular to load and hydrate deferred content. By stabilizing incremental hydration, we can continue to improve and expand upon this feature set. Check out our incremental hydration guide on angular.dev for more information, and stay tuned to the Angular YouTube channel for more updates on what's next for incremental hydration. You thought that's all we had in store for SSR? Of course not! In version 19, we added route-level render mode config APIs in developer preview that give you complete control over your app's rendering, allowing for optimizations that enhance performance, search engine optimization, and overall user experience, resulting in greater flexibility, built-in internationalization, and a seamless dev server integration. With this new set of APIs, you can explicitly define whether route components are rendered by the server, statically generated, or rendered on the client. And guess what? Angular's route level render mode configuration APIs are being promoted to stable in V20. So go forth and render with confidence. All right, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this next one, so let me get into the zone for this. Or should I say out of the zone? Because in V20, zoneless Angular is moving to developer preview. Zoneless Angular can improve app performance by eliminating unnecessary change detection cycles. Because Zone.js patches browser APIs, it notifies Angular to run change detection in response to any browser event, not just events that resulted in an update to a template in your application. This leads to a lot of unnecessary checks. In a zoneless setup, developers have explicit control over when and how change detection is triggered. For example, by calling mark for check, or by leveraging Angular signals, which inherently know when their state changes and can trigger updates more precisely, making zoneless plus signals a powerful combination. This fine-grained change detection can result in improved performance and improved debugging experience, better ecosystem compatibility, and a smaller JavaScript payload. With zoneless moving from experimental to developer preview, you can get a head start on getting the most out of Angular, and here's how. First, update to Angular v20. Then, add provide zoneless change detection to your project's application config and uninstall Zone.js. That's all you need to get started. Be sure to check out Angular Dev for more details. What would these improvements be without the tools you actually need to monitor and debug your application's performance? Chrome's existing tools like Flamechart can be helpful here, but there's a ton of information in there. So much so that it can be difficult to pinpoint the data you need. If you've ever struggled with this, you'll be glad to hear that we've partnered with Chrome DevTools to create a custom track for Angular developers that surfaces profiling data specific to you and your application. This can be extremely helpful for doing things like identifying code from your app versus other libraries. Want to try it out? First, you'll need Angular v20 and Chrome version 136 or higher. Then, head over to the Performance tab in the latest version of Chrome. Start recording to capture the data you're interested in profiling, and when you're finished, you'll find the relevant data in the Custom Angular tab. That's it. You're one step closer to gaining critical insights into your app's performance in a language familiar to you as an Angular developer. Ready to make performance the default for your application? Update to the latest version of Angular and create apps your users will love.
Devin, thanks so much for those updates. From zoneless to production-ready incremental hydration, we're happy to ship the features that you need to deliver web apps with confidence. Let's turn our attention to Angular's tooling and infrastructure. Angular's tooling has been helping developers build stable, durable apps, and our latest updates continue this tradition. Let's check in with Tiffany to find out how we're improving on a solid foundation. Tiffany, you're up.
If you want to create apps that your users will truly love, then as a developer, you'll need helpful tooling to give you a wonderful experience building and delivering those incredible applications. Guess what? Your friends on the Angular team are here to help. Hi, I'm Tiffany, an engineer on the Angular team, and I'm going to tell you all about what we're delivering in Angular version 20 to make this happen. Let's dive in. Let's talk about every developer's favorite subject, testing. With Karma being deprecated, the Angular team has been focused on finding a suitable alternative. We think the right solution will meet 3 goals we have in mind. It will provide developers with a well-lit path for migrating. It will have strong support in the community. And finally, it will improve the overall experience for developers. This led us to explore some new options. So far, your options have been being able to run tests in Node with Angular's experimental jest support. For browser testing needs, there's experimental support for Web Test Runner. Yet, we wanted to find a testing solution that worked both in Node and for browser-based testing. In line with the idea, we're introducing experimental support for v-tests in Angular 20. With v-tests, you can run tests in both Node and browser-based environments, and we love to know how this works for you in your projects. Now, we will only be choosing one solution, but you get to help us decide. Try out all 3 test runners and let us know your feedback. We'll be taking this into account as we evaluate which of these to stabilize. To build truly stable and performant applications, valuable insights into runtime behavior are essential. Developers have access to Chrome DevTools and powerful performance insights. But how much better would your profiling experience be if the content was more tailored to you as Angular developers? We have another great DevTools feature you can try out as well. Angular has experimental support for router visualization in Angular DevTools. This gives you a sneak peek into how we're updating Angular DevTools with more and more features that enable you to gain even greater insights into your application during runtime. Like many of our other experimental features, we love you to try it out and let us know what you think as we continue to develop this feature. Here's how you can get started. With Angular DevTools panel open, click on the settings icon and toggle the Enable Router Graph setting to on. And there you go. Here are a couple more notable features you should keep an eye out for in this release. First, we removed Webpack from ng-new, which means we've streamlined the build system and dependencies. We've been able to cut about 40% of the dependencies required for a new app. Not bad, right? And finally, I want to draw your attention to another effort in securing your Angular apps from the start. We've partnered with the Google Security Engineering team to add support for generating content security policies, or CSPs, in production builds with Auto CSP, and landed initial support in Angular v19. Since then, we fixed bugs and made it more stable. What's great is that working with this team to enable Auto CSP aligns us more closely with the secure by design philosophy here at Google. Features like these mean more secure Angular apps by default. Keep an eye out for collaboration posts with the Google Security Engineering team on blog.angular.dev in the future. Let's take a moment to see Auto CSP in action. In angular.json, under the build configuration, you can add Auto CSP with a value of true to enable this feature. When enabled, during production builds, a content security policy will be generated for you and included in your application code. This means that your site is more protected against some security vulnerabilities, like cross-site scripting attacks. As one example, if a malicious actor is able to inject an inline script into the application, our automated CSP configuration will block that script from running. While there are no silver bullets in security, we believe this is a great way to harden your Angular apps and protect your users. Try it out and let us know what you think. With each release, we aim to ship features and updates that make building with Angular an experience you and your users will love. Ready to get started? Update to the latest version of Angular and build something great.
Tiffany, fantastic updates. Thank you so much. You know, with these types of updates, it becomes increasingly clear that you will have the features that you need to create apps your users will love. Well, everyone, thank you so much for wait. What? There's another update? There's another update. Oh, wait, is this Jessica again? It's me. What? How? Okay, so I guess we're gonna see what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's not strange at all. No, not strange. Not a parallel universe, not something out of a space movie. No, not at all. Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team. Now, on the Angular team, we believe that AI has already changed the way that we work as developers. And what's really incredible is that these are the early days. We haven't even seen the full scope of how development will evolve. As a team, we've been thinking a lot about opportunities to meaningfully incorporate AI and how we can best use AI to bring value to the Angular community. We want to help you build AI-powered applications with Angular and help you to use AI development tools in your workflow. So, with much excitement, we are here to introduce the new home for AI in Angular, angular.dev/AI. This resource is here to help you get the most out of AI as an Angular developer. You'll find guidance, best practices, starter projects, even recipes for how to use AI in Angular. Here's an example of the type of recipe that you'll find on angular.dev/AI. When integrating with AI through something like an in-app chat feature, you may want to stream the LLM response to generate that typing effect. Now, this code snippet shows you how to do that using Angular's resource API. Now, we've abbreviated the code here, but you can find the full working example on angular.dev/AI. We also have multi-hour development sessions led by the Angular team, guiding you through integration and implementation with AI tools like Vertex AI in Firebase and GenKit. Now, while the content on the site integrates with Google's AI offerings, we've created content that applies to other AI solutions as well. We think you're really gonna like what we've done here and can't wait for you all to check out this new part of Angular.dev. Oh, the great things you'll build. Thank Mark? No. Thank me? No. Actually, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Angular community, and thank you so much for hanging out with us during this very special Angular developer event. Be sure to head over to the Angular blog and get even more updates. You know, Angular version 20 represents a significant milestone in our mission to help you ship web apps with confidence. Whether it's the updates to performance, tooling, everything else, or our new AI home for Angular, we're just really excited to know what you're gonna build next. So that's it for us. Be sure to head over to angular.dev, update to the latest version of Angular, and create apps your users will love.
All right. Sorry, everybody, for the stream quality. We don't stream very often. It's all pretty new to us.
And we could hear it just fine.
All right. So, thoughts? Anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Any favorite features? Hydration?
Yeah, well, I know one thing for us that we've kind of had a hard time with our there we go. Internationalization. That one wasn't really talked about at Google I/O last week. So that was something pleasant to hear as well. But again, it's just them baking these little features into Angular that makes it so much nicer. It's something, one more thing we don't have to think about. So yeah, that one kind of stood out.
So let me get in the zone for this. No, wait. The zone pun, that was pretty good, but seriously though, yeah, I think zoneless could be really cool. I'm excited to spin something up and play around with that. Support for TypeScript 5.8, that's cool. That example of using the hydrating with the at defer with control flow syntax, that was neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things I'm excited to play around with this.
Definitely. Marcus, what about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I always love the launch videos that
Right.
that the Angular team drops. They're always, top notch. But yeah, it was a great summary, I think, of the blog post and everything that we kind of been expecting. So yeah, just eager to get started and try out all the cool stuff, and nice to see that they are going to continue these series of dropping some videos on how to integrate AI into your apps. I'm looking forward to watching more of those. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
The other one too was the security, right? Like they're putting a little more emphasis on security, and like she said, it's never going to be perfect. Security is always a concern, but anything we can do, I think, is helpful. So I liked that one. Just more secure by default, but yeah. Oh.
Yeah, the automated content security policy, that was neat.
Yeah. Chris, anything kind of stand out for you?
I was so busy messing with stream feed settings. I'll have to go back and rewatch it all.
Yeah.
But no, I love that so much stuff is coming out of like experimental, like the zoneless and everything that, because a lot of these things, they're fun to play with on your own, but when you get into like you're building corporate big software, well, you're not going to be able to play with experimental stuff because it could break things in the future. So
Yeah.
nice to see a lot of these features that we've been getting to play with for a while and finally coming out to being able to use in a professional setting where, we've talked about like the developer experience. If we can build things faster and be happier with our work, then, let's go for it.
Yeah. And then again, all of them kept saying over and over again, we'd love your feedback. Please go here, even with their logo. But, with their testing, that was another one they were wanting feedback with. And it's all just developer experience. They want to know what we want as developers, and they're listening. I think that's huge.
Yeah, and they really do listen. Like when they first introduced control flow syntax, they are going to do it with a different syntax, kind of like a svelte, like the hashtag and the braces, which I liked it. I voted for that one. But a lot of people wanted the @ symbol, like a razor syntax, and that one won the vote quite highly. Like I think it was like 65% voted for that. And they ended up switching and going with that syntax. So the Angular team definitely listens.
Yeah, for sure. I love Michael Small's comment about the new AI section, and that they've been killing it with that. So yeah, I needed to dive into that page. It was angular.dev/AI.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat.
We did have Angular GDE. Jason Warner came and he did a presentation, a bit of a workshop even on resource. So if anybody wants to see that, you can just hear on the ng-conf YouTube channel, go look at the Angular Community Meetup playlist, and there's that workshop there on resource. So kind of nice to have that. But
Mark's joining us.
Hey, Mark. It was exciting. All of those updates, all of that news was really, really great. So really good presentation. Thank you for putting that on.
Awesome stuff as always. Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts? Anything you guys want to go over before we just go and update to V20?
ng new, run some V tests,
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and G update.
Well, I'm excited and really good stuff to come. Mark, we were just saying how much we appreciate how the Angular team is listening to the community, and you guys are really receptive to what we are asking for, what our needs are. And so thank you from us to the Angular team. But yeah, and then everybody always check out, we have events coming up all the time. So check out meetup.com, look up the Angular community meetup there. We should have one coming up for later in June. And yeah, we'll just keep pumping out these great things. Hopefully we can get some Angular team members to come join us and do some kind of presentation. And then some exciting news too, everybody, is that we are going to be doing in-person events now coming up. So that's kind of something in the works, but that'll be exciting, and we'll try to stream that as well. So even if you're not able to join us here in Utah, you'll still be able to watch. But kind of exciting to have some stuff in person again and not just be online only. But great things to come. And then, yeah,
Right.
I think we're good. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us.
See you guys.
see ya.
Happy Angular V20.